to take 3 more questions. Right here, and then I'm going to take you, and then I'm going to take you. That's it. Oh, and Susan, 4 questions.
This question is underpinned by a philosophical assumption, and I assume that you agree with it, and that is that a city should support its business community, do everything that it possibly can. So I'm not interested so much in your saying that you agree with that as I am in each of you telling me 3 concrete steps you would take to support the business district in Ojai.
Well, I think the city recently has taken one step, and that is with the making available of substantial funds to market Ojai with a professional marketing team. That's one step that is currently being done through the visitor center, and quite frankly, I don't applaud the city for a lot of things, but that's one of them that I do think that they're doing a good job on. The other is that I think we need to get more businesses that cater to people in Ojai, rather than catering to the people that come to Ojai. I think it's a really important thing. And I think that that is a way of supporting business, is somehow develop a program, so that we can get businesses that cater to people. And we don't want the box stores, and we don't want all that stuff, which you know, is the typical, whatever. We don't want that. But we do need to get these businesses that are going to cater to people in Ojai. Then the third thing is that I do believe we have a strong Chamber of Commerce. And I do know that a substantial portion of our funding in our budgetary matters comes through the Chamber and their activities through sales taxes and the bed and breakfast. So I think that we need to be cognizant that the Chamber is a viable part of our city, but I don't believe that we need to emphasize businesses, particularly the businesses that are selling retail goods. I don't think we need to do that to emphasize goods and services for people from out of town. I think we need to emphasize for people that they can buy things in Ojai for themselves.
Jotting down real fast while Paul was talking. One is, if you go to council meetings, although it's thawed some, and I think the initiative that the Chamber and the city have reached recently in terms of an effort to promote Ojai. Prior to that, there was a lot of antagonism between the city and the Chamber and the business community. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why that is, other than that the city was not real supportive. How we don't have a visitor center is beyond me. I mean, a visible visitor center with real hours. So that's one. We need a visitor center. Well, you have the visitor center that's hidden away. I defy anyone driving down Ojai Avenue who actually can see the sign that says visitor center. And it should be where the visitors are, which is right in the middle of downtown. And it should tell you to get to the museum, because Linda and I are members of the museum. I don't mean to downplay the museum, but it's not a real visitor center. Well, we had to close the visitor center. What can we possibly do on the cheap to get something there so we can say we have a visitor center, and that's not adequate. So anyhow, number one is end the antagonism with the Chamber, and work, not view them as enemies. Two is work with the Ojai Valley Inn so that they start letting people off their land when they come and visit, and they eat in our restaurants and they shop in our shops. It would be great if we could get more businesses that cater to people that live in Ojai. I'm not quite sure how the city council would go about doing that, but I certainly, as a member of the council, would speak up and out that we should support the local businesses that we do have. And that means bearing in mind that groceries at Star and at the Locker are going to be more expensive than at Vons, because Vons gets deliveries, not always, but a lot of them are. Some of them are, and generally, I mean they often are. Sometimes they're not. I know that my wife worked at Ojai Rexall, and they had stuff on sale regularly that would be cheaper than anywhere. But the point is that we need to support the local businesses that we have that cater to real needs. We do have a hardware store in Ojai. We do have the surplus store where you can get all sorts of things that are practical at reasonable prices. Shop Ojai, shop Ojai, shop Ojai, shop Ojai, shop Ojai needs to be the mantra that's repeated. Maybe instead of the Pledge of Allegiance, I shop in Ojai. And the last thing that I quickly came up with, again, in the past, I've worked with Dale when she did the downtown merchants activities, when she coordinated with them. I've worked with Stan and Hallie Katz every time they've tried to do a downtown promotion to keep the businesses open late and bring people in. I've worked with them, and I work with Jody James and Ojai Day. So all those kinds of event things we could do more. I mean, I was up in Idlewild, which is, I went to Idlewild because I saw on their website they had this Saturday morning art walk that sounded interesting. Terrible place, boring. Ojai's much more interesting, has much more to see, much more to do. Why, the city should be involved in events of that sort to get people to come to Ojai.